greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. Are those new school clothes wearing out that old washer and dryer? Well, it's time to get off the bus at Owen Home Appliance Center and learn what a new Speed Queen washer can do for you. They're in stock and are ready for delivery now. At Owen Home Appliance Center, quality products, quality pricing, quality service. It's right there in the name, Owen Home Appliance Center. 2 locations to serve you, Highway 36 in Somerville and the interactive location at Highway 231 in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river.
When the final whistle blows, the conversation is just getting started. Catch the Alabama Football Recap Show with Drew DeArmond and Steve Moulton on 97.7 The Zone. Brought to you by Dreamland Barbecue in Huntsville, proud title sponsor of the Recap Show. Because when it comes to football and ribs, everybody knows ain't nothing like 'em nowhere. Alabama football, Dreamland Barbecue, the perfect team.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama.
Alabama!
Your home of the Crimson Tide Sports Network.
Scott Tyson here with your 97.7 ESPN The Zone Sports Minute. There was quarterfinal high school playoff football last night. Scottsboro moves into the 5A semifinals with a 16-14 win over Fairview, and Class 4A Plainview into the semifinals for the first time since 1999 with a 28-7 win over Good Hope. Thursday night NFL action, the Houston Texans defense sacks Buffalo's Josh Allen 8 times, forces 3 turnovers as they knock off the Bills 23-19. Saturday SEC football, 10th-ranked Alabama welcomes Eastern Illinois. Kickoff set for 1 p.m. right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Auburn welcomes Mercer for a 1 p.m. kickoff. Deuce Knight set to start for the Tigers at quarterback tomorrow. UAH Chargers back on the hardwood tomorrow. The men welcome Bluefield. Tip-off set for 4 p.m. inside Sportsman Arena. Make sure and download the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app today.
Johnson & Hayes Physical Therapy was built on treating athletes, and today, we treat so much more. Whether you're a high school competitor, weekend warrior, or recovering from surgery, Johnson & Hayes pairs you with a dedicated therapist for one-on-one consistent care. We offer specialized programs in sports rehab, neurological therapy, pelvic health, post-concussion care, and more. Founded by lifelong athletes, trusted by top physicians across Alabama, Johnson & Hayes delivers results. Visit johnsonandhayes.com and get back to what you love.
The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Joe Hunk. John Abraham. 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Hello and welcome in to a fun Friday here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, also known as a Football Friday on ESPN Winchester and WZZN TV. We welcome you guys back in. John Abraham, Joe Hunk here for 2 hours straight of sports talk, goose gaps, and so much more, including your phone calls at 256-576-97.7. If you want to get on the show, you can do it right now, and you can also hop in to the WZZN TV chat over on Facebook, X, as well as the YouTube channel where you were able to watch Crawdads Countdown to Kickoff. We had Bryson Daly on, a guy that pretty much should have been in was he in New York last year? He was never, close to getting into New York,
He did not make it to New York, but he should have.
It was a lot of fun seeing him play football, and then, of course, he's moving on to do some great stuff, but I got to produce that show last night, and it was a perfect time to do it because I personally was a pretty big fan of Bryson Daly, but, of course, there's a lot more fun to come over on WZZN TV where you can not only hear us, but you can see us as well. Last night, the drive was live from, I believe it was Full Moon Barbecue. They were having a great time. Well, the Texans and the Bills were throwing down in Houston. And let me just tell you this. The Houston Texans have been on a little bit of a roll lately. Yes. And they won last night's game solely because of that defense.
Yes.
And I will say this. Davis Mills, there are 4 or 5 teams that would grab him right now if they could. I'm talking the Saints. I'm talking the Titans. I'm talking the Jets. I'm talking the Raiders. I'm talking the Browns.
Titans wouldn't.
They would. I think they would. And I know that Cam Ward, obviously.
Yeah, we're talking about a backup role.
You want to use this guy. You want to use Cam Ward. But at the same time, if you had a guy like Davis Mills on that roster, maybe you start Davis Mills before you throw Cam Ward into the fire. That's all I'm saying. Because I feel like that if Will Levis was a little bit healthy, maybe we'd see a little bit more Will Levis. Cam Ward, of course, really getting thrown around. And we're going to have to wait and see how that turns out. Of course, there's always that question, do you want to throw your rookie quarterback right into the flames? Well, you can throw Fleming Roofing and Restoration right into your roofing project. Of course, the sponsors of this show. Just look them up online at FlemingHSV.com. Fill out that free quote today and let Fleming Roofing and Restoration take care of all of your roofing needs. And they show up. They do show up, similar to me and Joe every single weekday, as well as Drew DeArmond in the second segment on Fridays as well. There's also some coaching news going around over in the college football scene and some more interesting stuff that I've seen, Joe, with the college football. It's what is the College Sports Commission? It's this new branch that's trying to come into control, and there's a lot of different rules that they're going to be trying to throw out there. And right now, they are giving all of the Power 4 teams a chance to sign up and get ready for this thing to come into fruition, but they need to sign up for it. I'm interested to get some of Drew DeArmond's opinions on that because it's a different type of thing compared to the NCAA and the rules that they throw out. And some of those are good ideas. I feel like some of them fall into the place of what college football is now and post NIL and transfer portal. But there's other things that got me kind of scratching my head. I'm not 100% sure if I like it or if a majority of these Power 4 schools like it. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that in the next segment with Drew DeArmond from Talkin' Ball, presented by Mercury Motors in Alumni Hall. But Joe, before we get into the meat and potatoes, I need to know, rehab for leg day, what is your process for that? Because I am currently, I don't even know how to control my legs right now. 2 days ago, I tried a different workout, and now I just can't do it.
Let me ask you a question. Have you taken any Tylenol or anything like that?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Wow. First thought is the one that you go with.
I never thought that you actually painkillers would,
the stuff that you use whenever your body's aching, whenever you're sick and stuff.
Yeah.
Same stuff.
Well, there you go. I actually didn't know if you were going to throw me any useful knowledge, but that actually was right up the gate.
You go in the sauna and you turn that sucker up to 250 and you just sit there and you let that just go ahead and loosen all them muscles up. You get that massage going and right there on your legs.
Oh, that would hurt. No, I'm sensitive in the legs. I'm sensitive in the leg area.
That's the point of it. No, that's what you do. Is you go ahead and you take some of that stuff, and moment it kicks in, you're good. Maybe a little stiff, but not much whatsoever.
No,
that's what you absolutely do. But this is also coming from a guy that would take a handful of meds to help him throw a baseball in his final years. But I am telling you, with that, you take the same medicine that whenever you're sick and your body aches that you would take whenever you're working out and your body aches, and it'll fix you right up.
I don't know why I never thought about that. With the leg, I just thought that it was just something that I had to kind of get over. I've always had to deal with this, and I can't bend. I can't walk without my leg buckling. I can't even go down the stairs out in the office. I just can't do it. It's very slow.
Do we need an elevator for you now?
I think we do. I think it might cost some extra money, though. I think that's why we didn't get one in the first place.
I mean, that's absolutely the truth. 100%. Look, we won't get an elevator for you. We will just attach a slide on the one window we have so that you can just slide down to your car.
How am I supposed to get up, though?
Hopes and prayers, my friend.
I guess I will still use the stairs to get up. All right, I won't be too needy.
I know that it's like law. They have to have handlebars. So, you've got some handles over there that you can be rocking. You should be good.
Definitely utilizing those.
Yeah.
Also, throughout today's show, though, you guys are going to be able to get in on the wacky underdog picks. Of course, Josh won the first half of the season, so he'll be getting some big zone deals as a reward. But you guys can win in the second half of the season, and of course, win even bigger prizes as we get to the finale, which comes at the end of the NFL season, at the end of the playoffs, or at the beginning of the playoffs, really.
Since you asked me a weird question, I'm going to ask every single husband out there another question. Okay, because guys have went through it, obviously go through leg day. They understand the pain in that. Let me ask you men this, okay? And my wife's listening. She's listening. How many husbands and fathers, let me emphasize this, husbands and fathers have had that day where they get that text message, hey, man, nothing really happening today. You can go ahead and go on home. Or, hey, man, it's raining outside. We're not really going to be doing any work today. Go ahead and take the day off, and just, it's just an extra day off. How many guys have had that day? Okay, you get that, and you start thinking about it, and you're like, oh, man, now I can go home. I can either work on something in the shop. I can get, underneath the car in the garage and work on some things I need to.
That's what most Americans are thinking.
Have some of my me time. Yeah. That me time. I love my family. I love my wife. I love my kids. I love them all being around. But that time where you walk into the house and it's just 1,000% quiet.
Nice.
And you're just like, So I was supposed to have that yesterday, okay? And I was supposed to have this, okay? Now, my son gets out of school around 2:30. Bus normally arrives about 2:50. Okay, well, the show yesterday obviously always goes to 11. So I had to go make a couple of quick stops to pick up some stuff. I appreciate the fine person in Spartman that gave me a ton of Spartman gear last night. I mean, amazing. Like I even got one of the Colonel Reb hats. Like, oh, it's awesome.
That's what you wanted.
That's all
That's
I've wanted.
all you've wanted all your life.
Actually, I think it's all I've wanted for the last 2 years that I've been doing Spartman games is the Colonel Reb hat. Nice. I really have. So I got one of those and all this. So I had to go make that stop and I was going to the house. And so I'm about to go do it. And I'm going, all right, if I do this, I should get to the house about 11:45. Man, I'm going to have about 2.5 to 3 hours just to myself doing whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
Right when I walk down the steps here, those ones that you struggled with, I get a call. Hey, would you mind going to the South Parkway Walmart for me? You mean the Walmart that's 100% in the opposite direction of what I need to be going and doing so that I can go home and have some me time?
It's a great Walmart, though.
It is.
Go to it every week.
And she goes, look, they're the only Walmart in town that has this one Christmas present that we're looking for one of the kids. I need you to go get it right now. So what would a normal person to think about? And I go, oh, okay, cool. So if you already ordered it, just send it to me and I'll do the pickup real fast. Oh, no. It's easy. Just go in there, go to the section. It's right there. They say they have plenty of them. All right, great. I get there 11:10 because you saw me. I bolted. Yeah, I was like, I am out. Fast. I am done. I do not have to go to UAH today. We had pretty much the day off because we're going to be busy all weekend. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go do this. So I go to said South Parkway Walmart and I go to said aisle that I was told to go down. And I look. And look.
And it's not there.
And look.
It's not there.
And then I go the next aisle and look.
No.
And look. And look. And then a third aisle and look. And look. And then I go to the app and I'm like, well, maybe she was looking at the wrong Walmart. She told me to go to this one. So it's a different aisle. I'm looking like, nope, this is the aisle 7. This is one, I-7. This is what I'm supposed to be going to. I go to it and I look and I look and I look and I look. Finally, I find a humongous display case that had just been placed right on that aisle.
Oh,
100% empty. And I'll look at the brand name that's on the box, and it's the brand name for the toy that I've been looking for, and it is 100% empty. And so I call my wife, and I FaceTime her, and I go, you see this toy? Does this look, his toy's here? She's like, oh, no. I said, well, look online. She goes, well, they say they have it. Come to find out, they haven't put them out yet because they were waiting until Black Friday, but they put them up on the website to buy. I spent 45 minutes looking for one toy that wasn't even there. It's in the back, still boxed up. So my wife orders it online for pickup order.
Simple. Done.
Now I have to go back there after the show today to go pick it up.
Just let me, I'll go grab it, Joe. Might not,
No,
give it back to you.
No, exactly.
What was that one movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Jingle All the Way. We watch it every single year. It's the first Christmas movie I watch every single Christmas.
With the
Turbo Man.
You're Turbo Man. Right.
With Turbo Man. That's right. That's exactly right.
That's what this reminds me of.
Him and Sinbad. They're battling over it. In fact, it's based in Minneapolis, Minnesota, because at one point in time, they go to a radio station in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they get angry because when they win one of the Turbo Man dolls, action figures, when they win one, it's actually just a voucher. By the way, when this movie came out, that's what happened. Just letting you know, that was actually that was actually accurate.
They were all sold out.
Yeah, it was. So what you do is you use the voucher, you go online, you buy it, and then when they're back in stock, they'll send you one.
After Christmas.
This is 100% Jingle All the Way. All I needed now was a Belushi dressed up as Santa Claus and his little bitty miniature friend beside him wanting to fight me. That's the only thing I was missing in this whole little thing of looking for it. And I'm looking for a figurine I promise you is no more than 4 inches tall.
Just think about this. How quick that movie would end if it had online pickup.
Yes.
Online ordering.
Well, the same thing for Home Alone.
Amazon. All of that stuff.
Same
I
thing.
wonder how many movies could we say could end in like 20 minits if it just had
and that's the reason why a lot of movies now you'll have that, oh crap, we don't have any service. Oh crap, there's our cell phones are dead. Like that's the reason why you get that. Very because then it would totally screw the whole movie up. But yeah, this was Jingle All the Way, except I didn't end up dressing up as the character that I was trying to go get.
It's unfortunate.
I know, it really was.
It's not as fun.
No, it's
I need
not.
to know the
I would have
character.
looked good in the pink dress though. But it was it was 100% a Jingle All the Way scenario. And now I've got to go back today to pick it up because she orders it online, which she could have done yesterday. I spent 45 minutes. I ended up getting home and only having 30 minutes of time to myself. I was like, son of a gun.
Well, that's a lot of fun.
Son, and then I mean, look, and then my son got home. We had fun. We played Minecraft. It was great. Went to wrestling practice. Look, no complaints whatsoever on that. But come on, man. Every husband and dad knows that 3 hours that they're just dying to have. Yeah. Said I went shopping for a figurine that was not there. Yeah.
It's all right. You'll get your days back one of these days.
No.
Maybe in the future.
No.
Either way, we get to talk with Drew DeArmond. Coming up next, he's going to be breaking down a little bit of the college slate, recapping a little bit of what Alabama did up in Chicago the other day, and just getting into a lot more of the fun here on a Friday edition of the Blitz. And then after it all, you guys are able to join in, get your wacky underdog picks in, get your Army-Navy question correct to get qualified for the Army-Navy tickets, and so much more. It's all coming up here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester, and WZZN TV.
This is The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. 256-576-4977.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing. We have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
At Stella at 5 Points, living isn't just about having an apartment, it's about living artfully. Imagine waking up with the upscale feel of Atlanta or Nashville right here in the heart of Huntsville. Modern, stylish apartments, open layouts, stainless steel appliances, and resort-inspired amenities. Nestled in vibrant 5 Points, you'll enjoy walkability, parks, dining, and quick access to downtown without the chaos. Stella at 5 Points. Live artfully. Live Stella.
Have you ever turned your back on God? Have you ever absolutely known the right thing to do and just turned around and walked away in disobedience? I know that I have. Aren't we thankful for our great and merciful God who loves us and forgives us and remembers our sin no more? I'm so thankful that his mercies are fresh every day. I need that, and I suspect you do too. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, and if you're looking for a church home, come see us. We're smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison, and check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Hey folks, Arthur Seed, managing partner at University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Alabama and Auburn football. Swing by University Kia today and check out our huge selections of brand new Kias, including the spacious Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the slick new K5, the sporty Kia Seltos. We've got perfect cars for every lifestyle and budget. Visit universitykia.com to view all our amazing offers and get pre-approved amenities, because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide, War Eagle.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy and overcast sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid-70s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be a thing through the course of the afternoon into the evening. Not really talking about any sort of a threat for severe weather. We'll maintain the opportunity for rain as we head into the overnight, early into your Saturday. Temperatures drop into the mid-60s. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky Saturday afternoon. Temperatures climb into the low 70s.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. Weekday morning starting at 9 a.m. on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I'm all in my bag, as hard as it get. I do not store powder. I might take a sip. I might hit the blunt, but I'm liable to trip. I ain't.
Hello and welcome back into the Blitz here on a football Friday, a fun Friday on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester, as well as WZZN TV. Joining us now on the show in studio, Drew DeArmond, as he does always on Fridays, presented by McCreary Motors and Alumni Hall. And Drew, a little bit of a lackluster college football slate, of course, this time around, but there are a few intriguing games, and we'll get to those here in a moment. But I do want to get your reaction on Alabama, Illinois, the other night up in Chicago, playing on the Bulls hardwood. You know, it's a big win for the Crimson Tide early in the season. They moved to 3-1 now, and you really look at this team, and there's a lot of good things. But there's also some concerns, and the rebounds were going to be one of them, but they beat Illinois at that. And they do it pretty handily. Talk a little bit about your reaction to that game.
Well, I mean, they hung in there. Illinois is a big team with a lot of skill. They don't have a lot of quickness. Stojakovic was a problem. He ended up with, I think, 26. I think on the night he played really well. Now he couldn't make a free throw, which that was kind of to Alabama's advantage. Illinois had trouble with the free throw line, but the Illini only won the rebound battle 40-38, and I think you see now the impact Keaton Bristow can have on the Alabama team with the energy he plays with. He's the Tarleton State transfer. I saw him against Florida State in the exhibition. He had double figures and played really well and helped them win that game, 109-105. He was the difference. Even Brad Underwood, the coach at Illinois, said so. In the win with his 10-8 the other night. His energy, especially that he played with in the second half. And then down the stretch, you got to have a dude, and Alabama has LeBaron Philon. He got off to a little bit of a slow start, but he ended with 24 points and 5 assists, and he played outstanding basketball down the stretch. They couldn't guard him. They did a good job of attacking the rim and taking advantage of their quickness and athleticism advantage. And then Alabama did make some clutch free throws down the stretch, including 2 by Bristow. So Alabama was able to pull away late and hold on for a 90-86 win. It's a really good win over Brad Underwood's team, which is kind of a United Nations approach. They have a lot of foreign guys on the squad, including the Avicic brothers that Big Z, of course, having spent his brother already on the Illinois team, but Ivisic, Big Z, his first 2 years were at Kentucky and Arkansas. Now he's at Illinois. But I think Illinois will probably be a top 4 team in the Big Ten. They were ranked in the top 10 to start. And then Alabama had better guard play in this game because one of the reasons they didn't beat Purdue is because LeBaron struggled. Latrell Wright will probably have maybe his worst game I've seen him have in an Alabama uniform. Aiden Holloway had 21 and was really good. Houston Millette made a big shot late but struggled, but it was more balanced this time. All 4 of them made big plays late, and then LeBaron took over, and that's kind of what you have to do. And then Alabama with Keaton Bristow back in the rotation in the front court was able to make enough plays to win. And then kind of the linchpin guy that everybody needs to continue to watch closely as a freshman is Amari Allen. He won the Hard Hat Award with 9 points and 11 rebounds, and he does a lot of stat stuffing. He kind of reminds me of Herb Jones a little bit, except he's further along than Herb was as a freshman offensively. Now, defensively, I don't know. I mean, I've never really seen a defender as good as Herb, and that's why he's making, I don't know, $15 million a year in the NBA. But again, I do think this team is fun to watch. I think they're only going to get better, especially if they can stay healthy. But they don't have a lot of depth in the front court, so they certainly need Keaton Bristow to get back healthy and stay that way. And then they need Aiden Sherrill. He managed it somehow with 4 fouls for almost half the game, but he needs to, they need to be able to defend without fouling because they don't have a lot of depth. They only played Noah Williamson, the transfer from Bucknell, about 5 minutes or so. Didn't have to play him heavy minutes, but certainly the 2 guys to watch going forward that can help the team continue to improve. And then as they grow into roles, again, are Amari Allen, and then the other freshman is London Jemison. London didn't do a lot the other day, but they're going to need him to later. I mean, he's going to have to make plays. You're going to need that depth to come in there. And then Davion Hannah, too. Davion made a big 3. But it's going to be interesting because from what I understand, they're going to Vegas. They'll play Gonzaga, 13th ranked Gonzaga and Mark Few on Monday. They'll play UNLV, also led by Josh Pastner. They won't be, quote unquote, the home team, but it's basically a road game against UNLV. So, and they'll play a third opponent to be determined, but it's the Players Era tournament. Auburn will be over there too. It's basically for NIL money. But that's kind of the motivation. But you also play some high-quality opponents, and certainly Alabama's schedule is going to get no easier. But they might have Jalil Bethea, the former McDonald's All-American, the transfer from Miami. We haven't seen him. He got hurt in the preseason with a broken toe. He's getting better, though, and I've heard rumors that potentially we might see him back in the rotation. It'll be interesting, though, because with the depth this team is creating, what kind of role he takes on. But he's extremely athletic, and he would give them more length on the perimeter, and certainly iron will sharpen iron. If he goes in there and plays well, then somebody else's minutes, like, for example, a London Jemison. Like, you're a frosh. We think you can play a lot, but if Bethea comes back and he starts playing better, so we'll see. But certainly it'll be interesting to see how it develops. But 2 huge wins for Nate Oates and his crew as they're now 3-1. You got to give them a lot of credit. Beating Illinois, beating St. John's. And then, they played Purdue really, really tough. Purdue's a really good basketball team, extremely well coached, got maybe 2 of the top 10 players in America with Trey Kaufman-Renn and, of course, Braden Smith. And before anybody talks to me about Braden Smith, he's basically Purdue's Josh Majette. That's basically what he is. He looks like Opie Taylor, but he sure as hell don't play like him. And he's as good a guard as there is in college basketball. He gave Alabama 29, and he's only about 5'9", 5'10", but it doesn't matter. He knows how to play, just like Josh. And Josh kind of changed the complexion of UAH basketball when he was signed out of Spain Park by Lenny Acuff. Braden Smith, potentially, maybe he could win Purdue, a national championship. They played for one a couple of years ago with Zach Edey, but, they have that kind of potential with that squad. And the Big Ten is going to be really good, though, especially the top of it. We've already seen Michigan State get 2 huge wins as they have, I believe they've beaten Kansas and Kentucky. So Coach Izzo's team's been really good. And I think, Coach Pope will figure some things out with the UK. But right now, they've got a $22 million roster, but they don't look like they look disjointed. They don't look like they're playing together. And I got to give Nate Oates and Alabama credit, and Auburn. Auburn nearly beat Houston. But they both those teams look like they're playing together, and Auburn playing through Keyshawn Hall's injury, who may be one of their two best players, because Tahad Pettiford, of course. And then a big shout out to Simon Walker, my guy.
I was going to ask you about it.
I mean, hey, look, I was finishing watching the Alabama game, and I knew Auburn was playing, so I just go over to Nathan King's Twitter account trying to see how the game's going. I knew Auburn was winning big, and then all of a sudden he's like, Simon Walker getting ready to check into his first game.
Yep.
And then he bangs a three, and then I read the next tweet. He bangs another. He bangs a third, a fourth, and then he's like, a fifth.
Yeah.
And he's putting all these question marks up, and I'm like, good Lord.
Oh, he went off. And I did the right when you got finished, I was going to say, all right, this is my opportunity to get Drew to say something good about Auburn.
No.
Time to talk about Walker's first appearance.
Look, I texted Simon at midnight, and to his credit, he responded in 5 seconds.
Dang.
I said, my dude, I know it's late, but I said, I just wanted to let you know, what a debut. Way to shoot the rock. Go Big Red. And he was really excited. I know Max Cohen did something with him with 31.
Yep.
And I saw they did a little Zoom call, but great for Simon. He had a little bit of a foot injury, he missed some time, and we already heard Stephen Pearl say, I got 4 guards, and whoever defends and makes plays is going to play. Well, Simon only got 7 minutes, but it was Microwave Walker.
Yeah, and he also got an assist in it as well.
Yeah, so he goes in there and he makes shots. So hopefully it'll lead to some more time for him. I'm really proud of him.
Oh, it definitely should. 15 points on the night for him as Auburn defeated Jackson State. And it's funny because the more we talk about, these players from the area, the more I think about, Alabama women's basketball as well, and how much Brandon has talked about Ace Austin and the start that she's had over there in Tuscaloosa. Talk a little bit about that, because she's been putting up points like it's nothing, man.
Well, we talked to her today for the first time, and we're blessed with Brandon's relationship, and also the opportunities by the University of Alabama will be able to feature her periodically throughout her freshman year. This was the first time, and it was good timing because she's coming off the best game of her career. She missed game 1 with his tough a quad injury as I've seen. I'm blessed to know a lot of people in her inner circle, and she played through a severe ankle injury at the end of her senior year, and then it was kind of a re-injury because she had it during volleyball, and then she had this quad, so she missed the opening game, and she missed some of the exhibition time as well, but especially that season opener against Stetson. So Alabama kind of struggled. They only won that game 82-73. But she's been coming off the bench ever since. And this past game, 4 threes, 21 points. She was playing with a ton of energy. It looked like her days at Spring Garden with the way the ball was moving. She's averaging 13 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. And that's pretty solid when you consider she hadn't started a game. So she's already making an impact. I think her 3-point shot's just going to keep getting better. I think it was huge to watch the ball go in this last game. And now she gets to go to the Bahamas. And as she said today, hadn't done that at Spring Garden. So you're going to the Bahamas to play in a little bit of a showcase event. You get a chance to play against Harvard. And then after Harvard, I think they get it'll be the situation. I think if you win, you get the winner of USF in Minnesota. And then if you don't, then you probably get the loser of that game. But you're guaranteed 2 games. So again, Alabama hoping to go 2-0 over there, get to 7-0, but it's fun watching Ace play. I mean, she just draws you in. She's great for ladies basketball. She's great for the state. And then she's built a lot of momentum. You see Laney Smallwood at Albertville. She signed with Mississippi State the other day, and they both train with Brian Dominick. Laney actually played over here at Huntsville High last week. I did that showcase. They beat Hillcrest Tuscaloosa soundly, and Albertville, she had 37. So she can really fill it up. So she's a really good player, and she's going to go to Mississippi State and have a really good opportunity. And Ace is going to have a great one with Christy Curry, and I think she's a really good fit for what Coach Curry likes to do. They like to play fast, shoot a lot of threes, play transition basketball. So certainly excited for Ace and her future.
No doubt about it. And as we slowly transition into the college football slate, I do want to ask you, Joe or Drew.
Yes.
Did you? Both of you guys, honestly.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of the football that happened last night? Because
the champion of life was winning when I was watching it, Butch Jones, but they ended up losing that one 34-30.
Came in runner-up in that race, by the way.
So not the game I was talking about, but I understand where you're coming from.
He was,
and I didn't see. I saw some of the highlights, but I know Will Anderson and the Texans were getting after the Bills, and Will had 2.5 sacks, and they were able to. The Texans got off to a really horrendous start, but now they're 6-5, so they're making a little bit of a playoff run late, even with, as you said, former Stanford quarterback Davis Mills, with that injury to C.J. Stroud.
3-0 as a starter this season. Kind of crazy, as we saw him back in like 2021 and 22. He went like 3-10 because he had to start. It was just gross, but he's already got all of his wins and a lot more possibly coming up. But of course, C.J. Stroud been out for a few weeks, and we'll wait to see when he comes back. But Joe, do you got any questions before we get fully into the college football slate?
College football. And so the basically with Alabama, Auburn, they're both playing POS opponents this weekend.
I mean,
exactly.
This slate is kind of but I mean,
it is.
I mean, here's the thing, though. The crazy part is, I know y'all have talked about it this week. Florida, Tennessee used to be a really big deal.
Oh, it will be. I think it's going to be
huge. It used to be like the first game of the SEC game of the season for both of them.
Absolutely.
Now it's here at the end. And, Florida has fallen flat. Tennessee has been good, but they're not college playoff good. So there's not a whole lot of talk about it. And I'll be honest, it hadn't even really occurred to me until last night. I was on the drive. Jimmy Himes kind of led off that deal that Florida's won 10 in a row. Like Tennessee hasn't beaten them in a long time.
Tennessee has not won in Gainesville since 2003.
And that's the last time they beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa. So that was a good year for Fatimus.
Absolutely.
They actually had a good team.
Yeah, and so that's it. And you're right, because that's why when I told this to John yesterday, I was like, look, I know we don't pay attention to it, but in the state of Tennessee, this is huge because I understand Florida's bad. They were also bad 2 years ago, and Florida beat them when Tennessee was a top 15 team.
Yeah, over in Gainesville.
Exactly.
Again.
So,
and of course, the coach of that team in 2003 was, a Winchester born and raised type of boy.
A maggot.
Yeah, but with Alabama, and I know that obviously there's nothing you can really take away from this game as far as an X's and O's standpoint, but what are you wanting to see from Alabama just to get through the game and start preparing for Auburn?
Well, I picked 56-0. I just want to see systematic domination. This is a 3-8 Eastern Illinois team. I just want to see Alabama come out with a purpose. I want to see them throw the football around, get some rhythm, get some confidence, run the football with Daniel Hill and Jam Miller, perhaps even Kevin Riley, even A.K. Deere. And I know as soon as A.K. carries the ball, if he gains 10 yards, it's going to set off a Twitter, bomb. But I just hope they play well. I hope defensively they keep building on what they're doing because they're going to have to play really good defense in Auburn to get a win. It's going to be tough. I mean, we all know the game's over in Jordan-Hare. Just look at the history of the game. I mean, they've played 17 times. Auburn leads the series in Jordan-Hare Stadium 10-7. But if you go all the way back, and I'm old enough, I can, 89, they won 30-20 the first time it ever happened when I was in 8th grade. And then the next time they played was 93. That was the game that was weird because Auburn was on probation. And back in those days, if they put you on probation, you couldn't be on television.
Nope. It was only radio only.
So you had to be radio only or you had to, go to the game. So Alabama lost that game with the, Frank Sanders making that her just a tremendous catch on.
Was it also like closed circuit television was also the only way?
Like that.
Yeah,
well,
you could. Yeah,
and it's funny. Alabama led 14-5 at halftime, but Auburn played a tremendous second half. We know what happened in '95. I was in the student section dressed in green and white Nike gear because if I wasn't, I would have gotten my ass beat by the Auburn students. I was there with a girl that I was really good friends with. She got me a ticket. It was great. It was a great experience. It was a great game. If they had replay back in the day, Curtis Brown would have scored and Alabama would have won, but Alabama lost a very close, tight football game. 97, they actually had the game won, and then Ed Sissom fumbled the football, and Auburn kicked a field goal late to win it. And then 99 finally broke the hex. That was Sean Alexander. And then they won impressively in one of the bigger upsets in the history of the rivalry, 31-7 in 2001. But then Auburn paid them back the next year with a huge upset in 2002.
That was my first Iron Bowl.
Yeah.
That was my first one.
And then in 2003, Alabama wasn't very good. Auburn handled them. 2005, it was one of the worst performances I've seen and a good Alabama team have. Auburn dominated them in 2005. And then when Saban got there, every game pretty much, went down to the wire in Auburn. They lost by 7 his first year, won the game in 9 and 11. 13, we all know what happened there. That was the kick 6. I never moved for 4 hours because that's the one that's hard for me to get over. But the payback always happens, and that was the Gravedigger, which Alabama really had no business winning that game. And you can beat a 4th and 31 for a touchdown. I'd never have. So, and then in 15, it was the Derrick Henry game. 17, it was just a domination for Auburn and Kerryon Johnson over Jalen Hurts. And then 19, it was the shootout. It was the 48-45 game. Mac Jones started because Tua was hurt, and that was a really good football game. I mean, Auburn played exceptionally well in that game. So, I guess the common denominator is pretty much, except for 2001, the Iron Bowl in Auburn has been a really good game. It's been a 4-quarter battle. It's not decided until late. And I think in many ways that'll probably be the case here. I mean, and if Alabama plays poorly, they don't deserve to be a college football playoff team. I know right now I think they're getting screwed by this idiot committee. But here's the thing about how you shut up the idiot committee. You beat Eastern Illinois soundly, and then you win the Iron Bowl. Then you get to Atlanta, and if you win in Atlanta, they have no case because you're 11-2 and you're SEC champs. So Alabama controls their own destiny. And now it's silly season, but you got all the Kalen DeBoer speculation. But it's funny how that all pops up, right at the end of the season when you're trying to finish a good year.
So before we let you go, because your good friend Ryan Fowler down in Tuscaloosa had a very interesting interview yesterday. And so the question is, in your mind, is DeBoer the head coach at Alabama when this Iron Bowl returns to Bryant-Denny?
I think he is. I just, and I'll just say this: he's not going to Penn State. I say that with a lot of confidence. Now, if some other dominoes fall, you might have to hold on to your ass a little bit. And that's all I'll say. And we'll see.
It's not really the confidence that I was expecting in this answer.
I'm very confident he's not going to Penn State.
Okay.
But again, the coaching carousel is good. Like, we haven't seen what Florida State's going to do. We haven't seen what Baylor's going to do. It could set off a lot of dominoes, is all I'm saying.
This isn't just one earthquake.
I just saw a report from a dude that supposedly has Ole Miss ties, and I don't know that I buy it. Now, of course, some are saying that Florida is out, and I thought that was where Lane, if you had to ask me, would I be shocked if he stayed at Ole Miss? No, but if you were asking me where would he go, I would have said Florida. This guy's claiming that now Florida's out and that it's going to be LSU or Ole Miss. But I'll be honest with you, looking into that, I don't think anybody really truly knows what Lane Kiffin, Jimmy Sexton are going to do.
No, people now made a big deal because his daughter was at a quarterback booster club meeting the other night just because because her boyfriend was the one speaking, but she went with her boyfriend to the event. And so everybody's going, Lane has sent his daughter to this event to check out LSU boosters.
Oh, you're talking about with Weeks.
And so that's what I'm saying is, like, with Lane, people are reading into everything this man does.
Like we were joking about it on Talkin' Ball this morning. There was an Ole Miss guy that was messing with an LSU administrator that was messing with some Ole Miss people or whatever the hell it was. It was plane tracking. And I take that back. I think it was an Ole Miss administrator, chancellor or something. He was flying to New Orleans, but he had him get as close to Baton Rouge as he could, and then he turned to New Orleans. You know what I'm saying?
I love him.
Tracking But see, I'll be honest, back 10, 20 years ago, you could track planes and figure this crap out.
Absolutely.
They're not letting you do that now, man.
No.
They're not going to let you know when these clandestine meetings are happening and when things are going on.
It'll pop up a week later on an article.
I mean, Lane Kiffin is the kind of he is the Pied Piper of this deal. He could set off a lot of dominoes. Personally, though, if you ask me, I think Kalen DeBoer returns to Tuscaloosa. I don't think it makes a lot of sense for him to leave. And I said this on Talkin' Ball. There's been 3 coaches in my lifetime because when I was born, Coach Bryant was in the last, half decade or so, 7 years of his career. He retired in 82, and then Coach Perkins took over in 83. He was there for 4 years, and he went to the Bucks, and it didn't work out. He never got to a point, a crescendo in his coaching career like when he was in Tuscaloosa. And then after that, William Curry. I don't call him Bill. Not a fan. So they hired Bill Curry instead of Bobby Bowden. Think about that for a second. And so you hire Curry. He's there for 3. Then he goes to Kentucky. Never basically becomes a big-time coach again.
No.
And then, and then the other one, Fraud Phony, a.k.a. Coach Fran, he lies to everybody and leaves for Texas A&M after 01 and 02. We all know how that worked out. He got fired at A&M, went back to Texas State, but really never who is that? Who brings up Coach Dennis Franchione anymore? Nobody even knows where he's at.
No.
So my point is
UTEP?
My point is,
seriously, I don't know.
Is that, as Gene Stalling said when he talked about William Curry, he said, "You don't leave Alabama for Kentucky."
Oh,
and you really just don't leave Alabama, because Coach Stallings retired after 7 years at Alabama. He never coached again. So in many ways, Alabama is the pinnacle, and if you leave there, it usually doesn't work out. Now you can get fired. There's been coaches get fired. We know Mike Shula and stuff like that. But usually if you leave of your own volition, and that's what my point is, if there was a change at Alabama, even if Alabama doesn't play well against Auburn, and I think if regardless, it's going to be a close game. I certainly don't expect Alabama to get dominated because I think Auburn's a good football team, when they're focused, and they certainly have played a ton of close games in Jordan-Hare Stadium. I do think that, but it's a rivalry. I think they'll play Alabama as hard as they can. I think Alabama's got the better team, but certainly there's an avenue for Auburn to win the game. But if it's a good, tough football game, I don't expect Kalen DeBoer to get fired. Now, if somebody said, well, what if Alabama, what if it was like an 05 effort where I thought in 05 they lost, but they just looked, I don't know what it was. They just got overwhelmed, and they had a good team that year, and that would be kind of similar to this situation, but they certainly didn't fire Mike Shula. He was back the next year and then was dismissed. I don't see any scenario where DeBoer's in trouble. I think now it would, if they doesn't win the Iron Bowl and they play their way out of the playoff the second straight year, then a lot of pressure in the third year, no question. I think he needs to make the playoff. Yeah. But I think if they finish strong this year, if they bounce back, which I thought it was a good, tough game against Oklahoma, it was certainly frustrating.
Very.
I wasn't, but it didn't feel like Florida State where you felt like they weren't ready to play.
Exactly.
They just got beat.
And there was a chance. There was an actual chance at the end.
But you need to change the narrative this year. You need to beat Eastern Illinois, then beat Auburn. Then you're in the SEC championship game. And if you win the SEC championship and get in the playoff, it's a wildly successful second year.
No doubt. And
so I just think that the Kellen DeBoer will be back. I think he's got the program on the right track, but I'll just say this. If these dominoes fall a certain way, hold on to your ass. That's all I'll say.
It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of intrigue, and of course, like you were saying, a lot of tectonic plates going to be shifting, which is going to change the landscape of college football.
It's funny you say that, John, because we haven't really talked about it at all. But Kentucky's been on kind of a hot streak, and they're playing Vanderbilt this weekend.
Yeah.
It's a big game for Vanderbilt because Alabama's been getting hosed, but Vanderbilt still has a legit shot at the playoff. They're on the periphery, and they need some things to fall their way, but they got to win this game. And then if they do, that Tennessee-Vanderbilt game is huge. Now,
massive.
Tennessee will be trying to play spoiler because they're out, but Vanderbilt would be still playing to stay into the conversation. And that in Knoxville, that game would be – the rivalry is big anyway, and Vanderbilt's resurgence has caused that. But Tennessee got them last year, so can they go 2-0 against Diego? And while Diego – he can talk trash to Auburn fans his entire career, but he went 1-1 against Alabama, but he's never beat the Vols. So – there you go.
Yeah, and we, of course, also have the Missouri Tigers face off against the Sooners. Going to be another one.
The Sooners, can they handle success?
And also
they may be playing against Missouri's best quarterback. They may not be.
That's the biggest question is if Pribula is going to be back
because he's upgraded to questionable, but he has been cleared to play.
So full health Missouri team against the Oklahoma Sooners that have a little bit of injury problems right now.
I'll be honest, if you're Alabama, to me, you need Oklahoma to win because
look better.
Because they're in the playoff right now, and if they lose, then with this stupid committee, I mean, but I don't know. They think losses are more important.
Yeah.
So hell, maybe they would actually help Alabama. I don't know. I mean, Hunter, you're a dumb. I didn't understand what the hell he was saying anyway. I mean, I didn't hear it until after the fact.
Well, when you rush
really
for
felt
only
stupider for listening.
When you rush for 100 yards in a football game,
like y'all see Brooks Austin. Brooks Austin was just classic. I mean, he was comparing Notre Dame and Alabama's resume, and he was like, these people are stupid.
Well, and the biggest thing is I want to know is at one point in time, because we obviously here we've talked a lot about tiebreakers over the, especially with high school football. At what point in time in the conversation does the strength of schedule come in on tiebreakers? Because if that comes up, Alabama is hands down better than Notre Dame, because Notre Dame's at like 49 and Alabama's in the top 10.
They got one ranked win against the team in USC that I think will lose to Oregon and have 3 losses. But, they were prioritizing losses over who you beat, which is asinine.
Yeah. Who did you lose to? That was the important thing the committee was looking at. Well, it's Arkansas. He's running the case. Either way, there's some more Arkansas.
Some pork?
Yeah.
We
can say that.
Yeah.
Arkansas's got some other interesting news we'll look at. They fell at 2-8 on the season. They're going to be looking up.
You're talking about
Texas.
a snake-bitten team. They've had a chance in every game.
And you know what's great? Whenever you're snake-bitten, sometimes you just need a ride to the hospital.
It's so upsetting.
Sometimes you need a bus.
I don't know, man.
Taylor Green, man.
I will say this. Sark's getting a lot of heat. He better not lose at home to Arkansas.
No, better not. And, of course, Texas sitting at 7-3. But Drew DeArmond has been our guest, presented by McCurry Motors in Alumni Hall. You do it every single Friday, and you do Talk a Ball every single weekday. Drew, appreciate you as always, brother.
Yeah, and I know ESPN Winchester's listening. I'm sorry. I'm never going to say something positive about Fulmer. I know y'all have a street named after him. I couldn't walk it.
I wonder if he was the one in the scooter from the scooter store. I wonder if he was the one that was driving down the road on the scooter store.
No, I don't think that was.
God, could have been.
Either way, we'll take it to break and finish up hour number 1
right
here on the Blitz
Depot, man.
on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester, and WZZN TV.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. This is the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
College basketball tonight, UAB 7.5-point home favorites at South Alabama, 150.5 the total at Bartow Arena. College football tomorrow, South Florida 21.5-point favorites at UAB. Jacksonville State laying 1.5 at FIU. Southern Miss 1.5 favorite at South Alabama, while Troy lays 10.5 at Veterans Memorial against Georgia State, 51.5 the over/under. In the NFL Sunday, Kirk Cousins getting the start at quarterback for the injured Michael Penix Jr. The Falcons look to end a 5-game slide. They're a 2.5-point underdog at the Saints, 40.5 the total. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our workhorse special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. Great news. This offer is now extended through the end of December. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor. We're here for you.
Don't you wish that you had some secrets to help you get an edge on your business competition? Wouldn't it be great if someone could solve challenges at your company that you don't have the time or expertise to fix on your own? You know, there is a solution. Higher Echelon is a world-class consulting firm based in Huntsville that trains employees in sports psychology secrets to drastically improve work performance. Founder Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets and has put that experience to good use. Higher Echelon helps organizations shave hundreds of hours off work time by improving processes, and Higher Echelon helps organizations save and make more money by walking them through technology updates and implementations. You don't have to go it alone, and you don't have to stay stuck. Higher Echelon is a trusted partner in organizational excellence. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com today to take your company to the next level. Go higher and go Army.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid-70s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be a thing through the course of the afternoon into the evening. Not really talking about any sort of a threat for severe weather. We'll maintain the opportunity for rain as we head into the overnight, early into your Saturday. Temperatures drop into the mid-60s. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky Saturday afternoon. Temperatures climb into the low 70s.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Keep holding on when my brain's ticking like a bomb.
And welcome back into the Blitz. Got a little bit of time before we hop into the second hour. I would like to remind you that Fight Night is coming to Huntsville with the CFC Fight of Champions coming to the VBC South Hall on the 22nd. That means tomorrow you're going to have some amazing blood-pumping fights going down here in the Huntsville area. MMA action, if you guys haven't got enough of it, because it doesn't really, have big-time events here in the area. It's all going down tomorrow. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster, or you can go on down to VBC right now and get them at the box office. It is a lot cheaper if you go that route. And let's fill up the place. It's going to look really cool. It's going to feel like that big-time MMA primetime environment. I'll say that much. Well, we got the second hour right around the corner. Going to be getting into the hype gauge.
Second hour, best hour.
It's always. We're going to get into your phone calls at 256-576-97.7, the wacky underdog picks, and so much more. Second hour of the Blitz coming up next.
Phone lines are open now. 256-576-4977. This is The Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Huntsville, get ready because Fight Night's coming your way November 22nd from the VBC South Hall with the CFC Rise of Champions. 16 blood-pumping matches, 5 featured title fights, and the most explosive MMA action in the Southeast. Get your crew together and reserve your VIP table or snag tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss out on the action. November 22nd, it's the Cage Fight Championships Fight of Champions.
You've been paying on that life insurance policy for years, but maybe you don't really need it anymore, or it's gotten a bit too expensive. Well, before you just let it expire, let Neighbors Insurance Solutions share with you some alternatives that you haven't considered. Don't throw away something that still may have great value for you. If you want to learn more about what Neighbors Insurance Solutions can do for you, call 256-763-7693. A death benefit could be a life benefit. Learn more at 256-763-7693.
Firehawk Aerospace is a non-traditional defense contractor
advancing the state of propulsion to strengthen the U.S. Defense Initiative. Founded in 2019, Firehawk Aerospace established early leadership in manufactured propulsion with the development of 3D printed hybrid rocket fuel grains. Visit firehawkaerospace.com to learn more. That's firehawkaerospace.com.
Tom Abraham here from my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Did you know that average home equity is at an all-time high? But so is average consumer debt. Even though rates are higher now, you can use your equity to pay off your high consumer debt, student loans, etc., then refi when the rates drop. Don't put off that new home purchase. When rates drop, prices will go up. Buy now and get the best price and then refi when the rates drop. This is the time to talk to the experts at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com for more information.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. At the Aldridge Law Firm in the Legal Town Center, we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188. Just remember, we're here to help, whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete. We're here to help.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That you paint your body, your car, and your dog your school colors? Maybe. But it means more than that. It means your alumni network includes the state, the country, and beyond. It means your school ring doubles as your resume. And yeah, you better believe it means more titles, like doctor, CEO, and your honor. Because this is the SEC, and here, it just means more.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
College basketball tonight. UAB 7.5-point home favorites at South Alabama. 150.5 the total at Bartow Arena. College football tomorrow. South Florida 21.5-point favorites at UAB. Jacksonville State laying 1.5 at FIU. Southern Miss 1.5 favorite at South Alabama, while Troy lays 10.5 at Veterans Memorial against Georgia State. 51.5 the over/under. In the NFL Sunday, Kirk Cousins getting the start at quarterback for the injured Michael Penix Jr. The Falcons look to end a 5-game slide. They're a 2.5-point underdog at the Saints, 40.5 the total. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy and overcast sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid-70s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be a thing through the course of the afternoon into the evening. Not really talking about any sort of a threat for severe weather. We'll maintain the opportunity for rain as we head into the overnight, early into your Saturday. Temperatures drop into the mid-60s. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky Saturday afternoon. Temperatures climb into the low 70s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Log on today, 97.7ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Second hour, final hour, best hour on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, and the Blitz. As this is our final hour of the week.
Oh,
kind of. I mean, it is our final hour of the week as far as the show is concerned.
It's a little sad, man.
We have UAH basketball happening on Saturday and Sunday.
Nice.
As the UAH men will have their home opener in the Alabama Credit Union Classic presented by Power Brands Hospitality Group inside a Sports Med Arena in Spraggins Hall.
It's going to be a lot of fun, man.
It is. They're going to host the Bluefield Rams on Saturday. Tip-off's going to be at 4 o'clock. Pre-game is going to start at 3:45. And then on Sunday, they will be hosting the USC Beaufort?
Not the Trojans.
Beaufort?
Not the Trojans.
What?
Not the Trojans.
Did I say Trojans?
No. I'm just making sure people don't get mixed up that UAH isn't playing USC is in Southern California.
No, but see, here's the problem.
Buford.
Okay, I didn't know if it was Buford or Beaufort, and I haven't looked it up before I said anything.
Well, I get it because Bo Pribula, his name is similar.
Well, all Bo's. Like a lot of times you have Bo like
Buford.
but like we did like in the 60s and 70s, like Bo and Luke Duke, where you just have B-O. And then you got Mama that wants to dress up Tiffany, and instead of going with Tiffany, wants to go with Tiefeaneeiey, like something dumb like that.
E-I-E-I-O. You got to finish it off.
Absolutely asinine. Yeah. And you look down at it, and you're like, is her name Tiefeane? And then the SID has to go, no, that's Tiffany. Oh! Did you just drop some more letters when you were trying to write it in? Like, why? Like, that crap happens all the time now. It's extremely ignoring. So when I see B-A-U, I thought, well, is it Bo? It couldn't be Bo, right? So, but yeah, that game is going to be tipping off at 3 o'clock on Sunday. 2:45 is when pregame happens, as it will be coming on the heels, at least on Saturday, of Alabama's game against the extremely dangerous Eastern Illinois Panthers.
Yeah, the Panthers. You're right. I understand. This is a game that a lot of people are probably just going to kind of watch, fall asleep halfway through, and then wake up in the middle of like a totally different game that means a little bit more. But I will say this. There needs to be a lot of confidence shown from the Alabama Crimson Tide at home. And I know that it is a POS game, but Tennessee has been able to make themselves relevant off of a lot of their POS games that they've played early in the season. It doesn't matter, but this is what needs to happen. Alabama needs to come in. They need to prove that they're still Alabama. They need to work on certain things, get it to players that haven't gotten the ball a lot throughout the season so they are ready for not just Auburn, but for the postseason as well as the SEC championship if they do win against the Tigers. Of course, at the end of the season. So,
Alabama fans, let me ask you, 2011/2012. Yeah. Okay, you're talking. That was obviously the year of the game of the century, and all Alabama fans went down to New Orleans for the national championship game with LSU.
Mm-hmm.
The night before the national championship game, the Saints were playing their wild card matchup against the Detroit Lions. And the entire city was in Saints gear, okay? Like, nobody was in Alabama or LSU gear, obviously, because both states do cheer for the Saints to an extent, especially after Katrina, and a lot of fans moved over here because they had to and needed to. And so everybody was on board with the Saints. It was all Saints, and it was all Saints go beat Detroit. It was amazing, okay? It was an amazing atmosphere. The very moment the game ended, the same people that were hugging and high-fiving each other no less than 10 minutes earlier are walking out of the arena going, F you, go Tigers. F you, roll Tide. And boom, it was on, okay? Literally, you hadn't even gotten out of the Superdome yet, okay? That's kind of how Saturday is, where it's like, all right, go Bam, okay. all right, Iron Bowl week. This is
exactly.
It's literally the moment the final knee is taken, it's Iron Bowl
Joe,
week. That's all that matters.
I don't think it is even that. I think it started as soon as Oklahoma, won that game just the other week. I think everybody was locked in. They're like, all right, next game.
I don't know if locked in is a phrase to use for Alabama fans after, because it's like, oh, crap.
We got to get locked in. It's time to, what are the other sayings that the kids are saying nowadays?
The kids. You're 25.
Yeah, I am not a kid, Joe. I'm talking about the kids, what they're throwing out. It's not the skibbity. It's the put the fries in the bag. It's time for Alabama to put the fries in the bag.
Is that because they're all going to be working at McDonald's because they're not getting an education and they're not going to be able to do anything?
It's just a saying, Joe. They need to lock in and get ready, because I understand it's not good to look past a matchup, but you can look past Eastern Illinois just a little bit. I mean, they're 50.5-point favorites. I mean, it is an insane spread, similar to, I think, Georgia versus Charlotte. You need to be using this game as complete practice to shore up your team for the long haul. This is where we see the second string, the third string QBs get out onto the field, because if Alabama falls with Dye Simpson, you're going to need to see the max. You're going to need to see, what else Alabama can throw out on the field. And it's going to be huge. It's going to be a lot of fun, because now you also have a chance to try and shore up that run game as well. Really give it to Daniel Hill, see what he can do as a starter.
Actually, I wouldn't give it to Daniel Hill very much at all. Look, no, absolutely not. No, I mean, if I'm giving it to Daniel Hill, I'm only doing it for like 2 or 3 times. See, this is the only reason why this game has benefit, is to get your backups in, to get them play on the field so that you can see who's potentially going to be a player that you could throw into the rotation next week if you need a snap or two for a player needing off, or you do make it to the college football playoff and you need to add that depth because you're starting to talk about players that have already played in 12 and 13 games.
The season's gotten so long, Joe, you need to be able to have some guys with reps.
That is the only thing. I don't want any of my guys that are going to be vital to me winning in Auburn to get hurt one bit. If they even take a lick and they lay on the ground for a millisecond longer than what they do, all right, come on and get out. So
AK Deer then is going to be going in this game instead of a Jam Miller or a Daniel Hill.
No, I want to know who the Hewitt Trustful guy is going to be coming in and running. That's what I want. Go get those guys, the ones that just smoked Spartman at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Go get all of those guys and have them play Eastern Illinois. That's who you want playing Eastern Illinois. That's it. I don't even want my normal play callers to be calling it. I want my backup play caller to be calling.
Keep your throats warm. Keep them ready.
No, because the whole idea of this, one, you can use this game for a few reasons. And a lot of times you will see head coaches do this in the NFL, where you'll let like an assistant coach be the head coach for a preseason game so they could get that rep. This game is one in which you have a lot of people taking a lot of phone calls right now. Again, Gus Malzahn interviewed for the Arkansas job. A lot of people are getting phone calls about who is ready to interview, who may want to be an offensive coordinator somewhere, who may want to be a head coach somewhere. This is where you hand them off after you have a comfortable lead, even if you're only up by 21 points or something, and you let your other guys do this so that they can get comfortable in doing it through the 3 quarters. You use this as a guide so that these guys have even more experience on their resume when they go interview for some of these jobs here in a week.
Plus, you got to take advantage of these games. Next year, of course, the SEC moving to 9 games. Honestly, I'm thinking Greg Sankey might be thinking, why are we doing that? Looking at what the College Football Committee has kind of gone about with their rankings. But you guys can get in on the conversation as well at 256-576-97.7. Of course, some of the big matchups outside of Alabama and Auburn playing, POS teams. Missouri versus Oklahoma is going to be one to watch. That is a top 25 matchup. Right now, Oklahoma is favored just by 6.5 points, and that is showing Bo Pribula might be starting for the Tigers.
Pay attention to that, because I'm not saying that Missouri wins if Pribula actually plays.
There's a higher chance.
But that will move the number. The only player on a football team that will move a number in Vegas is the quarterback.
Yeah.
That's it. No running back getting injured, no wide receiver going down. a quarterback will move the number.
Yeah, and the freshman was starting the last few weeks. It was Zollers, and he was fine, but it's like this is not the quarterback you wanted to run with all season long. And Missouri's just one game out of the postseason.
The idea that with Missouri is the fact they're 7-3 right now.
Yeah.
They need 3 more wins for Drink to have a third consecutive 10-win season. If they win this weekend, they then have to turn around and go on the road again next weekend to finish up the season. I want to say it's at Arkansas next weekend, if I remember correctly. And that'll get them to 9 if they win this weekend. Then they go into the bowl game with a potential of being a 10-win team for the 3rd year in a row. And still people do not give them any sort of credit or shine any sort of spotlight on them.
No doubt.
It is amazing what Drink is doing. And I promise you, if they beat Oklahoma, his price tag is going up.
Oh, yeah. And
literally the second the knee hits the ground.
Might be his last year at Missouri, regardless of what happens in
he
this
may not be there for the 10th
game.
win.
No doubt about it. USC versus Oregon, definitely a huge game that we're going to be looking at. Playoff implications galore up in Eugene. On top of that, you go down the list, Tulane trying to stay very confident against the Temple team. I know we're getting into the Tulane, the group of 5 games, but honestly, those are the games. This is the week where you could pay attention to them. And then the last few, I would say Michigan, Maryland, as well as Pittsburgh and Georgia Tech. But you guys have a saying as well. And we go to the phone lines now. We got Jason on with us. Jason, how you doing today, sir?
Hey, I am doing good.
Great.
Joe got me fired up, these little Alabama quip while ago. John, I got one for you.
All right.
What does a Auburn graduate and a tornado have in common?
I'm not sure. What do they got?
I think I know the answer.
Both of them usually wind up in trailer parks.
That's exactly what I was about to say. No, they don't usually wind up in trailer parks. They do live in a trailer park. If you go to Auburn, you're in a trailer. Screw the dorm. You're living that trailer life.
Oh, I got a daughter going to Auburn right now.
Yeah.
So I know all about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I want Kentucky this week. They've been the hot team.
They have been, I would say, a little bit hot. I still don't believe it's going to happen though in Nashville. But you know what? Since you threw it in there, I'm a little bit more of a believer.
Yeah, I sort of like. I mean, they've been playing better, and Vanderbilt's got pressure on them.
Yeah. No,
they got to win this one to keep alive, and then they got to beat Tennessee, so they may crumble on this.
Yeah, and this is what the season's all kind of come down for, and we appreciate that call, Jason. Good stuff from you, man. We got you in for the Wacky Underdog picks. But, yeah, there is a lot of pressure that is on Vanderbilt right now because this whole season was postseason and national championship. Like, we are a national championship team, or at least a team that can play for a national championship. And if they lose this game, that's not going to happen. They're not even going to make it to the playoffs. They're going to make it to a good bowl game, and it will be known as a successful season for the Vanderbilt Commodores from the outside looking in. But for everybody in Vanderbilt right now, as well as the football players, the coaches, anybody within the athletic department, they are picturing this as a playoff team, and they need to do big work against the Kentucky Wildcats to make that case for themselves. But we continue on with the phone lines. We got Brandon on with us. Brandon, how you doing today, sir?
Well, I wanted to get some numbers from Joe, and I'm surprised nobody's asked this yet. So this, the Geraldiners and the Mars Hill Biblers, what are we looking at the line on that game?
Oh, jeez.
I love it because, you know, what's really crazy is nobody's really tried to do high school ones for a little while. So it's interesting you ask.
This is a rematch.
It is. And right now, let me double check. I'm reading the spread right. Right now, Mars Hill is a 16-point favorite.
God almighty. I didn't think it was going to be that big.
I actually just glancing at it as far as your like non-AISA schools, that is tied for the second biggest spread of the week. Maplesville is a 33-point favorite over Southern Choctaw.
That's in
no, it's fourth. I'm sorry, because Coosa Christian is a 31-point favorite over Tuscaloosa Academy.
Wow.
God, no, wait, it's fifth.
I knew. I was going to ask you. I was like, "Are you sure, Joe?"
Good heavens, man! Sure? I didn't think these numbers. No, wait, it's even worse. Moody and Briarwood. Are these numbers changing as I'm talking? St. Michael and Bullitt County. I swear none of these numbers were here when I was looking a second ago.
Bullitt County. Where's that at?
Oh. So yeah, it's nowhere close. It's nowhere close to the biggest spread.
Oh wow, Bullitt County.
Well, we don't know who Plainview is going to face next yet till tonight. So. I'm gonna tell you, I think Mars Hill Bible is a downhill boulder, but because this is a rematch game, give me Geraldine.
What's the spread on that one again, Joe?
That is a 16-point spread.
All right, we got you down, Brandon.
So I would love to have that. And there's Cam Scatterboo's at WWE the other night.
Yeah, he was. And, a lot of people are really upset with it.
Yeah, with his whole situation. So, are we getting a preview of what his CTE career 2.0 is going to be when he's done with NFL?
No. This is a guy that is he plays football like an old-fashioned dude who is just pile driving people, going right into him, and he's also living life the way that a football player with free will would do it. I mean, he is doing what he wants to do. He's streaming. He's going out in public, having a fun time. He's saying what he wants to say.
Drinking beer out of his own cleats.
Yeah, that was kind of gross. But I mean, he's going and doing this stuff at WWE. I don't think he cares what the people think of what he has to say or what he has to do. Obviously, the Giants fans want him back on the field as soon as possible, and getting into these fake fights at WWE events is not a good thing. But at the same time, he's living life fast, and the way he plays football, he's gotta.
Man, he's a single man in New York, and he had front row seats to Madison Square Garden.
Do it.
Like, who's going to turn that down?
Nobody.
I mean, seriously.
It's just a funny look when you're out and not playing, and you're getting in stage fights. That's
yeah.
Which I just saw that, and I was like, I wonder if Joe saw this.
Oh, absolutely, I did. Now, see, that's the thing is I still watch clips and all that other stuff is going as my daughter and I continue to go through the way that we're going through it. But if I'm looking at this from the Giants, you actually had a group of fans of 14,000 people that were cheering you. Like, that's the other thing. You don't realize normally Giants and Jets people get, this kind of reaction as far as, from the New York Jets, blah, blah, blah. And the whole arena boos them. Like, no, you were getting cheered in New York by New York fans, and you actually have a marketable player on your team that everybody loves.
Yep.
So enjoy that while you can and do it. He didn't hurt himself. He didn't do anything outlandish on it. It was all absolutely scripted, and they put him with somebody who was going to protect him. So it's fine.
Well, I guess he was there. Then, John Cena, I guess that's his goodbye.
Yeah, that was his last Monday Night Raw match that he is going to have before he retires, because his retirement is coming up, but he will not be wrestling. He may be on Raw, but he is not going to wrestle on Raw ever again.
Yeah, and I saw that, and then I was sitting there, and I was like, God, Eddie Guerrero died 20 years ago.
Dude, that one right there, and you want to talk about people that I did not appreciate when I was younger as compared to appreciating now. It is absolutely amazing at how the print, I would say footprint, handprint, whatever you want, that he has put on the wrestling world, and how many people are professional wrestlers today, all because of Eddie Guerrero, even though he passed away 20 years ago. Because I remember when I got to meet him, it was here in Huntsville when I was backstage working for WWE at the time, and one of the nicest, just, everything that anybody has ever said about Eddie Guerrero is 1,000% true. One of the nicest, most just happy, enjoyable people to ever be around.
I have a Polaroid. God help me how old I am.
Wow.
A Polaroid of Eddie Guerrero, myself, and La Parca.
La Parca. I love La Parca.
Yeah, and he's been dead a while too, but I've got a Polaroid of me and those two at an event. I can't remember when it was. It was mid or early 90s, maybe 93, 94, somewhere in there. But no, I guess it's a little later than that, but that was before either one of them had hit it big.
Yep.
And I was there thinking the other night, I was like, La Parca. And my son said, "Is that a real wrestler?" And I said, Yeah, he dressed up in a Day of the Dead costume and went out there.
Absolutely.
That's when I saw Rey Mysterio, and I was like, God, he's still doing it too.
Yeah. Look, and Ray right now is kind of basically doing everything like in honor of Eddie. And Dominic Mysterio, as much as people hate him, and I know the whole joke is obviously Eddie Guerrero is really his dad because of the storyline and all that. You want to talk about somebody that has taken the Eddie Guerrero legacy and ran with it and made it his own. Dominic Mysterio is doing a tremendous job at being the modern Eddie Guerrero, because people hate him, but it's gotten to the point now that they love to hate him, that they start cheering him, which is what Eddie started to get.
Well, I remember Parker and them had a wrestling match one night. Nobody could see it because he had that mask on.
Yep.
But they messed up when they hit him in the face with a chair and just dynamited his face.
Yep.
And he finished that match, and you could see blood running all down the inside of his neck, down the front of his costume. And I asked him about that because he actually spoke, and he said I had to finish that match. He's like, I was missing teeth. He's like, I had to put 2 of my teeth back in. He's like, my nose was hockey stick. He's like, some of that stuff don't go right. He said, that was just one night. It was good that I had a mask on.
Ooh.
And before I jump out there, I just want to say I brag on Ace Austin a pretty good bit. Dude, Audie Crook scored 40 points in 20 minutes the other night.
Yes.
Just by slam a jam on people, like just making them eat it. And I was really, really impressed with that. I was not impressed with some of the comments that people were making on there. You know, you should never say anything about points per pound or something like that, because I guarantee you, if she saw you in public, she'd truck you. So we'll just leave it at that and roll tide.
Roll Tide indeed. Yeah, Audie Crook's very, very impressive performance the other night for Iowa State, if you guys had no idea. But Corey actually called in because of our comment around Bullock County, which I thought you said Bullitt County. I was like, where's Bullock County?
No,
and then
Bullock.
I was like, well, I know, but it sounded like – I know, Joe. It just sounded like you said Bullitt County. It's all right. Bullitt County's up in Kentucky, by the way.
Bullitt County is where Bessemer's located.
It's where they have those huge, like, statues of wood. But Bullock County, actually very interesting, and Corey called in. They won their first second-round playoff game in 117 seasons. Let's just let that one soak in, as well as their first-round playoff game as well. So some very interesting stuff happening right now.
117 seasons.
For Bullock
NFL
County.
hasn't even been around for 117 years.
You know how high school football is, bro.
I know, but I'm just thinking about it. Think about that.
The first team was in 1909.
Like were they like the second team ever created?
No, they weren't.
I mean, was it?
Well, there is a number. There is a number 1 next to their name.
I mean,
don't know what that exactly means.
Seriously, did like thinking about this, did it go straight from Harvard and Yale directly to Bullitt County?
1909.
Which, by the way, speaking of Harvard and Yale, would you like to know the most interesting fact ever about Harvard and Yale that I know you will never know?
I guess so.
Harvard and Yale have never or have not been eligible to go to the FCS playoff round for decades. Why? There's a true reason why.
Is it an Ivy League thing, or is it just Harvard and Yale?
They have never played in a college football playoff since World War II. And the reason is because at Harvard and Yale, they did not want to take part in the increasing commercialization of college football.
Sounds like AC.
So
doesn't want to get in it.
They officially this offseason removed that.
Oh,
it was a self-imposed ban that both schools agreed we shall never take place in said playoff.
You know what? Dumbledore died, so that means we can actually start going ahead and doing this.
Gryffindor lost in the second rounds. I mean, it was really bad. I mean, they couldn't grab the snitch. It was really messed up.
Dude, you know what? I never knew this. Slytherin won Slytherin won the first Hogwarts games.
Yeah, because Harry screwed up.
And then it was just like, oh wait, actually though, due to recent events, we're just going to flip this. Gryffindor, you actually win. And for all the kids over in Slytherin, you screw yourself.
Bro,
pretty much.
Do you not realize that Gryffindor's really the villain in all these Harry Potter movies?
I'm starting to catch on.
My people, the Slytherin, have been screwed over for years.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just Hufflepuff, so I'm just chilling.
Yeah, you're just loving everybody, man. You just absolutely are.
Having a great time.
Harvard and Yale, though, get to play in a college football playoff for the first time since 1940-something.
Because they did it to
themselves.
Because
they put a self-imposed ban. And so the winner of the Harvard-Yale game will now go to the FCS playoffs.
There you go. Lots of fun. If you guys are focusing on any of that. We're focusing on the Army.
Yeah. They first met in 1875. The very next week, Bullock County played their first professional football game.
1909, Bullock County started playing football.
The way you're talking about it was like Bullock County was like the opening game or something.
I said 117 seasons, Joe. I didn't say 213 years of,
just,
I don't know, pterodactyls and stuff.
No, not pterodactyls. That's exactly right. Players, they were carried to the medical tent by a pterodactyl. That's exactly what happened.
Either way, all I'm saying is we got to show
they use a
the
Bronchiosaurus head and neck to measure first downs.
We got to show the Hornets a little bit of love right outside of Montgomery. Either way, we do need to take it to break. We do also.
Anyways,
Mobile, was it?
Yes, it's yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let me check it. Yeah.
Mobile?
It's no Montgomery.
That's Montgomery?
No, Mobile is the one at the bottom of the state.
That is correct. That is correct.
I've been through Montgomery. I've been through Montgomery. It's been a minute since I've been through Mobile, but I've been through Montgomery.
You got to drive fast, didn't you? Got to get past the bullets.
Never took out the car.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Got to take it to break, though. When we come back, Army-Navy question. Joe Ross, of course, from Higher Echelons, giving you guys opportunities to get qualified for these tickets. Call in 256-576. 97.7, the number to get into the show. And if you get the answer correct, you get qualified for those tickets, and we will be announcing the winner next week. So the days are running out, but there's plenty of spots to get in, and you can be next in here on the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN TV.
My wife's listening. She says Montgomery as well.
My wife.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham. You can watch the Blitz live now on X at 97.7 ESPN. 97.7 ESPN The Zone and West Point grad Joe Ross of Higher Echelon is giving you 4 chances a day to qualify to win tickets to this year's Army-Navy game. Joe is a former Army football captain, and now Higher Echelon's mission is to optimize organizational performance to meet the rapidly changing, complex requirements of today's business world. We've got an Army-Navy trivia question for you. Get the question right, and you're in for the drawing on November 26th to win tickets to this year's game.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Does it really matter which dealership you buy from? Short answer, yes it does. Hello, I'm Don Wessels for Woody Anderson Ford. Before you buy, take just a minute to check out the dealership itself, because where you buy can make all the difference. Sure, customer reviews tell you what others think, and that's good. But when Ford Motor Company itself recognizes a dealer, that's something special. Woody Anderson Ford has earned Ford's Triple Crown Award, an honor achieved by only the top 1% of Ford dealers in America. It's based on superior customer satisfaction, sales excellence, and exceptional service performance. In other words, the best of the best. So when you're ready for your next car, truck, or SUV, come see how we earned our Triple Crown status. Superior service, sales excellence, over-the-top delivery, that's Woody Anderson Ford. And we hope to see you soon.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, If you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. Are those new school clothes wearing out that old washer and dryer? Well, it's time to get off the bus at Owen Home Appliance Center and learn what a new Speed Queen washer can do for you. They're in stock and are ready for delivery now. At Owen Home Appliance Center, quality products, quality pricing, quality service. It's right there in the name, Owen Home Appliance Center. 2 locations to serve you, Highway 36 in Somerville and the interactive location at Highway 231 in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river.
Talking Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
To be a commissioner, Joe.
What do you mean?
I'm so responsible. And I need to make sure everybody. I'm a man that wears a lot of hats, Joe. Okay, I have to make sure everybody gets their teams and their lineups correct going into the weeks in fantasy football. Because, it's just like I'm sick of how the season started, and we have some guys that kind of just like forgot about the games or they didn't have the app on their phone. Tom, I don't know how you play fantasy football without having the app on your phone.
I don't know how Tom plays fantasy football with all the restrictions he puts on himself. He basically just has to draft all Browns players and just hope to God one of them's good.
No, I have no idea what that was all about. I could not. See, I think that's why he doesn't like it as much as I do. I try to avoid drafting players from my teams.
Well, he's like Yale and Harvard.
Makes me
He's put these self-imposed restrictions on himself. Yeah. Nobody's telling him he has to do this.
Well, he's got a lot of players out.
It's like if we went into it and we said, hey, John, I want you to tell me who's your favorite team. And then you go, my favorite team is the Browns. Okay, you cannot draft from the Browns. All right, Drew, who's your favorite NFL team? Okay, you cannot draft from them. That's not like the league told you.
Who is Drew's team?
He doesn't have one because he doesn't like the NFL. But is, like it'd be like, Joe, you can't draft from the Titans. I said, all right, that's fine. And so that we didn't do this to him. He did it to himself.
Yeah.
And then you've got me just being an absolute a-hole for what I just did a few minutes ago or yesterday.
Yeah, you took the quarterback. Look, I don't think he's going to be anything this season.
So
I'm not even that upset, but I drafted a guy at the beginning of the season, and I was like, he's going to be my quarterback, finally gonna see what Joe Burrow could do. Joe Burrow didn't do much anything. Then he got injured, and then I was like, he's not coming back until pretty much the end of the season, so I dropped him.
So he drops him. And last night, I'm sitting at my son's wrestling practice because I'd totally forgotten to look at my team. And I'm going through and I'm like, oh, crap, Bo Nix is on a bye. And I go over to available quarterbacks and Joe Burrow's at the top. He has numbers beside him because, as a matter of fact, just a few seconds ago, Bengals beat writers actually said that Flacco and Burrow are both throwing right now. Flacco's getting the first team reps, but Burrow is practicing.
He's full participant.
So he's full participant. But in fantasy football, he's still listed on IR. Well, I don't have anybody on my IR right now. The guy that was on my IR, I dropped. So what did I do? I picked up Joe Burrow just to put him on IR so that I had a place for him on my roster so that I could have him on my bench just in case he comes back and I need a quarterback.
You conniving swine, you.
It's using the system.
You are a Slytherin.
Exactly. Do you realize how many NFL teams do this? How many teams will go, yeah, he's actually quote unquote injured this week just so they could bring up a guy from the practice squad so that they could get him some reps and play him. Do you know how many times an NFL team does this? That's all I did is I utilize what is given to me. Joe Burrow is on IR on ESPN Fantasy. I have a spot on my IR that I could just stash him. So that's what I did. And if he comes back and he's throwing like the old Joe Burrow, then it helps me for the playoffs. I'm good with this. Why not?
Well, I'm currently.
It's what helped me last year because the Bengals were trying to make the playoffs, so they were throwing a ton.
I'm currently a little torn because I've got a bunch of running backs on my team because I was kind of running low, and then I was like, I'll trade Derrick Henry, which I'm not like having buyer's remorse completely because at this point in the season, you got to do what you got to do. I got Patrick Mahomes. He's supposed to have a pretty good game against Indianapolis's defense. But now I've got Emmanuel Wilson from the Packers. He's supposed to get a large majority of the runs just because Josh Jacobs still out. And then on top of that, I picked up Sean Tucker because he balled out last week. He was catching passes going into the end zone. He was running into the end zone. He was doing practically everything for the Buccaneers in their game against Buffalo that they lost. But he had 34 points. So it's like I'm definitely not going to just pass up on that. But now I got too many running backs, and I don't know who to start. If I want Aaron Jones to be in for the Minnesota Vikings, if I want Kyrene, of course I want Williams in. Or on top of that, Quinshon Judkins, who's been very sloppy, but they're playing the Raiders. Again, Raiders defense, probably the only good thing about them, but still not a great Raiders team. So a lot of questions with my fantasy football team, but it should be a win regardless. Playing against Brody.
All right. No, that's not a win because I lost to him.
Oh,
I did. That was one of my weeks where nothing happened.
Oh, yeah.
So speaking of questions, we have an opportunity for you to get qualified for these tickets to go see Army Navy in Baltimore coming up in a few weeks. So how this works, obviously, is you have got to call in 256-576-977, and we will have a trivia question for you. We try to make it easier. And so that you can get qualified because you only have a few more opportunities to get qualified before we will pick our winner because obviously there's airline tickets or travel and hotel and all that you have to get because we're just giving you the tickets. But we need to go ahead and get you qualified because that game is coming up in 3 weeks. It's going to be the week after conference championship weekend. It's Heisman Trophy night.
December 13th.
Yes. So
I believe that's the exact date.
Yes. By the way, Riley on WZZN TV says, how about them Scottsboro Wildcats? And let him know that Scottsboro right now is a 3-point favorite over Fairview for their game this upcoming this evening, as a matter of fact, I believe is what it was. Now I got to double check because there were some games that happened last night, but I don't believe the Scottsboro game was one of them.
So football on a Thursday night still?
Yeah, they still do that a little on some places.
Sorry, I'm kind of getting out of the high school football realm. Sad how early it can end.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a North Alabama thing, man. Everything. About the second round of the playoffs, we're normally out of it after that.
No.
I mean, we don't get invited to the third round party.
Well,
a lot of teams don't.
I got blessed with being at a second round matchup, but you're not wrong. I mean, when Sparkman wasn't making the postseason, dude, the season felt like it was over just halfway through, like college football even.
Absolutely. And that's why we're looking at it because those games are going to be happening. You also, if you do not know, you also have some college basketball going on this weekend as well. Obviously on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, we're going to be focusing on UAH. Also be paying attention because like we talked about with Oklahoma and Missouri, if Bo Prebula, who right at the moment is a questionable on the injury report, he is listed as questionable. If he starts, that number is going to move. Right now, it's at +6.5 for Mizzou. And so far this season with Prebula, I mean, he's gotten almost his next game. He might pass 2,000 yards passing, and he already has 16 total touchdowns.
I honestly think that line's really for him, projecting to play.
Oh, I apologize. Scottsboro did win last night. Yes, thanks for that, Drew. I appreciate that.
And Jimmy also just called in. He said they won 16-14.
They didn't even cover the spread, man. God bless.
I know they won by 2 points. But
you just got somebody's finger chopped off. But man. What the heck?
I don't know about that, but they beat Fairview in that playoff matchup. So appreciate Jimmy, appreciate Drew for that as well. We do have phone lines coming in as well, and Wolverine Dan's on with us. Wolverine Dan, how you doing, man?
Dude, I hit the wall, man. I got it all done, and I got Thanksgiving for 15 people I'm cooking for, but
nice.
I got that ready, but my Christmas stuff is done. I go overboard, bro. I got custom reindeer that I made myself. It's matter of fact, there's a big response on a lot of people want them, so I think I'm going to start making them for people. And I made a Christmas tree out of shutters. It's pretty cool.
Wow. Okay. You're gonna show me that.
Yeah. I'll send you a picture. Yeah,
Okay.
we just got done putting I put custom ornaments on it. We made ornaments, Ginger and I. But I remember going to your dad's place, man. He's got one hell of a shop, man.
Yeah.
It's probably 3 times the size as mine. I go, man. And he got his boat next to it and everything. What a man cave, you know? You get an argument with your mom. He just says, "Okay, I'll see you later." He goes to the shop, clocks the door.
Yeah, it just disappears. Yeah. Are you one to be for the fake trees, or do you got a real tree?
Actually, the crazy thing is I have a fake tree that my daughter went to school in Salt Lake City, and she worked for Lowe's, and we got her discounted. And I looked at the receipt the other day. We paid $200 for it. We've had it over 10 years. Half of it lights and half don't, so we got to put lights in it to make the difference.
Well, that means you got a half off, right?
Yeah, basically. But I'll tell you what, every year we put it together. I put the tree together. My wife does the majority of the decorating. I help her. But my wife is so good at this. When it's done, guys, we talk about buying a new tree every year. Like, we need a new tree. This is just a hassle because we got to add lights to it.
Yeah.
But my wife's got the magic touch, and that tree is gorgeous. And I thought, I can't get rid of this tree. So next year we're going to do it again. So, but that's not why I called. Now, this fantasy football, I've never got it. You think I would be into fantasy football? I'm just not. The internet for me is like pressing the wrong button, I'll blow up the world.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't like I just don't do it. Okay. If I want to make something, I'll research or I'll do it myself and as the tree I just made. But my question to you is that with this fantasy football like for instance, the games this week, starting Monday, you have from Monday to the time they play Sunday to make changes with other teams, correct?
No, you've got to wait until Monday Night Football is over with, and then you have Tuesday until they play.
So you can make trades and blah, blah, do what you got to do with other people, and then whoever's got the most points at the end of the year wins the fantasy football league.
No, what happens after that is you go head-to-head every single week. So it's like, John has a team, I have a team, and whoever's team scores and all that, they win. You do have win-loss records, and then they start going into points for tiebreakers. But about week 12 or 13 is when we start getting into playoffs.
Week 14 is going to be the last one.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have the playoffs.
And then you'll have playoffs. Weird. And the only thing I hate about it with fantasy football is a lot of times the final weekend of fantasy football will fall on the final week of the regular season. Yeah. And a lot of times you've had this team all year and then half your players aren't even playing.
That's what it's all about. That's
where you then have to, So that's the only downside. I always wish that fantasy football would end this next to last week of the regular season, but it teaches them.
There's not a regular season winner. It's regular season and the playoffs combined. Whoever has the best record or whatever wins the thing, correct?
So when you get into the playoffs, there's only 4 teams that'll make it in our respected league. And of course there's a secondary league as well. And you go off of 2 games. So you go off the first game, you go off the second game, and that's the first round. And then there's the last 2 games are going to be the championship game.
Each round is 2 weeks. So you get 2 weeks worth of games.
What are both of you guys placed in at this moment?
I am right behind John at the moment.
I think I'm 5 and you're 6.
And I'm 6 on it. John and I were talking during the break, and I was reading to him my bench. My bench is made up of all players that are either out this week or on buys. That's my entire bench at the moment.
Well, my team was terrible last week.
Everybody's either injured or they're out.
Or they're on guy that put up 1,000 points.
But I thought you could change after Monday Night Football. You could change.
You can. Well, that's the reason why. With players on buys, you also have bench players. Well, if those bench players are either not good or they're also on a buy, you then have to say, all right, well, if I want to add somebody from the free agent pool, well, then I'm going to have to drop somebody. And so, because you're only given so many slots of availability, that's the reason why the Joe Burrow thing that I did was kind of like an underhanded move, because he's been cleared, but technically in the NFL, he's on IR. So I can put him on my IR roster.
So, John, you said you have a lot of running backs in your team, players that you picked. Is Gibbs one of your running backs?
No. Gibbs is actually on my roommate's team, John's, who is right now 7-4. At one point, he only had one loss, but these last 3 weeks have been bad.
Well, Gibbs, now they're playing New York, and I believe, is it in the Ford Field?
Yes, it is at Ford Field.
All right. Gibbs is going to have a big day. You watch. You watch. Yeah, he will.
Well, he's been pretty good all season long, man.
Yes, he is. I've never seen, where he catches the ball or runs with the ball, and the defender is like 10 yards in front of him, and by the time he takes maybe a second or two, he's 10 yards behind the defender. Yeah. That guy is fast.
Yeah, no, he is extremely fast, and it's crazy because you look at the points that he gets in fantasy, and for rushing the ball, yeah, it's whatever. I mean, he had 12 carries for 39 yards, but altogether he had 19.6 points, which is really good, and it was all off of those catches because that's 1 point, and then he had 107 yards to tack on. No touchdowns in that game against Philadelphia, but he did have plenty of receptions, which that'll push those points up really quick.
Well, exactly. In my closing with the Lions, I'm not panicking right now. I think the Lions are still a good quality team. And, at this point of the year, everybody has injuries. Mm-hmm. It's almost like you've got the Oakland Raiders. I call them Oakland Raiders. They're awful. Okay. You've got a lower tier teams that are just never going to get in the playoffs this year. But you've got the ones in the middle, and then you got the best teams. But even the middle teams have injuries, just like the best teams. So, if the middle teams can get all their players back, who knows? They could win any given day. And I think what it is for most of the teams in the NFL right now is just injuries. If you can go into a playoff and relatively have no injuries, you got a pretty good chance of moving on.
Oh. Well, Wolver and Dan, we appreciate that call. And sometimes you don't even need.
Tonight's the Havoc. Don't forget.
Oh yeah. We're not going to forget about that. We'll be talking about that as well next Tuesday on the Havoc Hour. See you, Wolverine.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff from you. But last night with the Houston Texans and the Buffalo Bills, both teams fairly healthy, except for one of them doesn't have the quarterback, and they bring in, and also they're down to their second string running back in Woody Marks. The Texans were able to win that game because their defense was stout and their offense did what they needed to do. Davis Mills, he's capable. Buffalo Bills right now struggling. They lose another one to a team they probably should have won against. This one, of course, in Houston makes it a little bit more difficult. Also, those red uniforms are very jarring, so I could see why they'd probably just be blinded by those shiny helmets. We got to take it to break because the final segment's coming up next here on the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. 256-576-4977.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
The crimson and white jerseys.
Front court to the rack and the flush.
The sound of a buzzer beater.
Got it to go as the buzzer sounds.
The Roll Tide chant from the crowd. It can only be Alabama basketball. Join the Alabama Crimson Tide right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasured trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
This is Bill Crawford with Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff. I've recently had a stem cell procedure on my right knee from Dr. Charles Lee of Regenesis. Stem cells are harvested from your body and re-administered back into your body. This approach is painless, quick, and requires no lengthy rehab. My knee feels better already. Regenesis is located at 4025 Pepperwood Circle Southwest, Suite C, Huntsville, Alabama. Call 256-715-8193 or Google their website for more information.
Mark and Henry McDaniel, attorneys at law, are proud alumni of Madison Academy, and Madison Academy is proud of them. They have served our community through their practice, through volunteerism and service on national, state, and local boards. They explain the complexity of critical court rulings on local media. Their successful practice has been built on integrity. Both are veterans of MA Athletics and proud sponsors of Mustang football. McDaniel and McDaniel, attorneys at law. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by the lawyers.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Injured in a car accident? Get the help you need. I'm Morris Lilienthal, a personal injury lawyer right here in Huntsville. I've personally helped over 4,000 clients with their injury claims.
Last segment, best segment. Here we go. 35 seconds of amazingness. Be ready because Big Ten Championship game in 2026 is supposed to be airing on NBC. They may be subleasing it to either Amazon Prime or Netflix. They are in early discussions to sell the rights to the game coming up in 2026. I'm trying to also think of, I have not made my upset, my wacky underdog pick.
Oh, neither have I. What can we do really quick? Florida's not favored, right?
No, they're not favored.
I'm going Florida.
Okay,
Let's go.
You got yours. I'm still going to be looking for mine.
Quick,
apparently.
Joe, quick! You got to make it.
Everybody I pick is all winners. I'll text Sean later. Love you, bud.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has